Hi everyone, I'm Rob Ladd. Thanks for tuning in for this edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. Last weekend, the men's and women's track and field teams wrapped up another successful weekend, hosting the Region 6 Track and Field Championships. No rest for the weary as they'll gear up to head to Emporia for the last event before the National Championships in just a couple weeks. Here to break down everything track related is head coach Mike Bloemker. Coach Bloemker, thanks for being here again this morning.
Great to be here.
Let's kind of talk about the weekend. You guys hosted it here. I know it was pretty windy, but the women in particular had a pretty good weekend.
I thought the women had a really good weekend. We got things started on Thursday with the multi and with the HEP, and really got going on Friday. I thought Jade ended up finishing second in the HEP, and I was really pleased with that. It was kind of a surprise she did that well. We were thinking more like 6th, 7th for her, but second place, and she wasn't too far off of actually winning the event. Got our 10K runners out on the track, and we had pulled 2 scoring spots and got Kayla Harris qualified for nationals, which I was happy about. Women's 4x8 scored, did really well. We pulled some pretty big points out of the javelin, did well there. Moved on to Saturday, and literally every event we had people scoring in on the women's side. Our female high jumpers, 2nd and 3rd, Vonda Thomas and Desiree Wilson. I mean, we can count on those young ladies all the time. They are rock solid. So Jade scored again in the triple for us. I thought Chelsea Kiefer had a great meet. She ran the 100 hurdles, scored for us there, came back in the 400s, scored again there, and came back on the 4x4, which scored. So I was really pleased with her. I thought she had a great effort. We pulled 3 scoring spots out of the women's steeplechase and got Allie Bailey qualified for nationals in that particular event too. So overall for those young ladies, I thought a great effort. We were in 2nd place going into the 200s. We ended up 5th. We were 9th last year. So pretty good effort, really good effort for them. The guys, we got things started off with really well on Friday. Josh and Nathan finished 5th and 6th in the 10K, and we had 3, 4, 5 in the men's javelin. And then we moved on to the next day, and actually Brendan finished 8th in the decathlon. We thought that was a pretty good effort for Brendan. And then things kind of fell apart on Saturday for the guys. I don't know what it was. I thought our throwers and our jumpers did really well. They were throwing right at their PRs or right over. And frankly speaking, our distance runners on the men's side really dropped the ball, and it really hurt us. We should have scored 3 people in the steeple, didn't. Should have scored 3 people in the 5K, didn't. Those, as we've talked about, our middle distance program is supposed to be kind of be the backbone, and they didn't get it done. So they ended up 8th in the region, which I'm not really that happy about. But we're going to be a lot better next year. Which brings me, as we talked last week, setting up for the meet. When it was a week-long process, we had 2 signings last week. We signed Kayla Peterson out of Baser Linwood. I look for Kayla to be in our top 5 on the women's cross team next year, and probably pretty solid middle distance runner for us out on the track. And then Wednesday went to Topeka West, had a big signing. Nina Whitetree, we're really lucky that we signed her. I think she's going to end up probably being as good as Krista Heidemann or Amy Gothner, both of which, if you combine their All-American totals, close to 30 All-American awards, and multiple national runner-up. And also the Sierra brothers are coming, and I think both those guys probably top 3 on the cross team, and those guys will score at nationals for us in the middle distance events. I'm really lucky to get those guys. Our recruiting has just gone well this year. We've got Brooks Ballou from Bonner Springs coming in, Cooper Bell from Hutchinson. Interesting story with Cooper. He was their starting quarterback for the Hutchinson football team that won state all the last 4 years. And he's going to run cross country for the first time, and I suspect by his size he's probably going to be pretty good at it. So got a kid out of Colorado, Kenneth Vaughn. He's going to make an immediate impact in the middle distance areas for us. So really good. I'm really happy. We've got some good throwers signed for next year. Coach Batliner's done a good job getting some jumpers in here, and I think we're going to get a couple of pole vaulters that can really do us some good. So I'm excited. I know with season's wrapping up and cross country's going to start again 1st of August, and we just get rolling again. And I really look ahead to next fall with particularly with the women's team. I think we've got one of the better women's cross country teams in the nation right now coming back. Because I'm returning 8 freshmen from this year, so you get that many sophomores combined with some solid recruits we've picked up. We've got Lawrence High School's top long distance runner coming in, Shelby Clark. Angela Mancuso from St. Mary's High School's coming in. And those young ladies, they are going to make an immediate impact for us.
Now, what's the recruiting process like for you? Because you're basically, I mean, you're a year-round coach. You do the distance stuff early on in the fall. You do the outdoor, in the spring. How are you able to balance head coaching basically 12 months out of the year and also recruit? I've
got great assistant coaches. Coach Groves, Coach Batliner, Coach Stanley. Those guys are unbelievable. They work really hard. I don't have to follow up with them. They know how I like things done, and those guys are great. But it is quite a balancing act. I can tell you, I don't know how I'd do it without a laptop and a cell phone. I don't know how I did it 10, 12 years ago. So, but it gets done. It's one of those jobs. It's a unique job where people always say you have the best job in the world, and I say, yeah, I do. But flip side is that flexible schedule. My phone rings at 8 o'clock, or I got it at night, or 9 o'clock at night. I got to make recruiting calls at 10 o'clock at night. We're going. You just got to be willing 24 hours a day to be able to do your job. So.
Something I think was interesting, and we'll kind of wrap up with this, is the quarterback that you've signed out of Hutchinson. And Hutchinson, obviously, you mentioned 4 straight state titles. I mean, they are, without a doubt, the power in football. How often do you see a crossover athlete like that, somebody who's had so much success in one sport, try and come over?
Probably get about one athlete a year. It's like that. So.
Is track new to him, or
no?
Or is this something
he's run track for the last 4 years. He just always played football in the fall. So we'll see how that goes for him. I think he's going to be pretty good at it. He's pretty solid on the track. So.
Fantastic. Well, Coach Bloemker, thanks for being with us again this morning. Good luck in Emporia, and then good luck to all your athletes as you guys head to the national championships.
Great. Thanks.
It's going to wrap up this edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. For Coach Mike Bloemker, I'm Rob Ladd. We'll see you next time.